I was going to leave this video till tomorrow morning, but why wait when the news waits for no one? And I'm here to get you your Detroit Lions news. The Detroit Lions have been holding out, fans at least, have been holding out for an impact player to come to the Detroit Lions to not only help fill the void left by Aiden Hutchinson, but kind of give us that jump off for next year when Hutch will be 100% and we could have that person opposite him that we truly address the pass rush in the proper way. I'm not even trying to be funny here, but I think that Brad Holmes will re-sign Marcus Davenport. That's what I think, especially if he does not make a move for a pass rusher or two at the trade deadline. And we could also make a move on a low end and sign a guy like Marcus Davenport, bring him back, because that's just what Brad Holmes likes to do. I call it like I see it, right? But we've been holding out hope for a big name, not only a big name player, but an impact player. See, the funny thing is usually a big name player equals a big impact, hence why they are a big name. But there have been guys that we have been looking at, but there's a person that's not on this list that we'll talk about later. There's two main guys, Max Crosby and Myles Garrett. Here is what Ian Rappaport, this is coming from NFL.com, says, sources say several teams called Tennessee with one specific player in mind. Now notice Harold Landry's not on here, but that's not the guy I was talking about. Two-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons. Despite interest, those teams were all told the same refrain: it ain't happening, not happening. Then he proceeds to go forward. The Browns do not plan to trade. Now, there is a key word, plan to trade superstar defensive end Myles Garrett, despite teams calling after they traded Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills, sources say. The Las Vegas Raiders also do not plan to trade Max Crosby after they dealt Devontae Adams, sources say. Then we saw that the Cooper Kupp stuff was shut down by Sean McVay after the win over the Minnesota Vikings. But so again, they don't plan to trade. Now, anybody can be bought, and the Cleveland Browns would have to get an offer they can't refuse. I feel bad for Myles Garrett because he's going to be a situation. He never said anything, but he's going to be in a situation that ain't going to end well for him. It's not. So by the time his contract is up, if he plays out his contract in Cleveland, he might not have much left. Myles Garrett is definitely in the peak of his career, so he'll probably be coming off that peak. But then again, he's 31, man. He could just be he'll be 31 at the end of the day. He could just be getting started. So that's bad news with both him. We kind of got the idea that Max didn't want to be traded, but it ain't up to him. But we heard before that the owner was like, we ain't trading him, but it ain't up to him necessarily either. I mean, he could come in and veto things, but I don't know. So the Cleveland Browns, listen, you ain't willing, Myles Garrett ain't happening. That's why you're going to be bad for a long time. You also invested in Deshaun Watson. There was a time long time ago that I would have taken Deshaun Watson, but I'm glad that we got Jared Goff instead. But who could be available? There are names that we've been talking about, and I see the closer and closer we get to the trade deadline, the more realistic the probability of these two individuals are. Cleveland Browns edge Zadarius Smith says with a lack of pass rush options, Smith is among the top available. And that's exactly where the Detroit Lions are, a lack of a pass rush. If Cleveland, currently 6-1, continues to struggle, which they will, he becomes more of an option. Several teams have inquired about the veteran. Others on Cleveland include, those two guys as well. There's another dude down here that we have made a video about, Josh Uche. Says for the second consecutive year, Uche's name is floating around the trade market with this low base salary, $1.3 million, only adding to his value. He has 2 sacks this season in limited time. So I think that right now that this is a person that these are two people. I can see it right now. So you have Myles and Max, and we discussed this, and we're going to discuss it some more. You got Myles and Max, then you got like Trayvon and Trey, then you've got everyone else. And Josh Uche, I see now happening, we're going to push those big guys aside. I don't think Trayvon Walker is a big guy. He's not that guy. He's right. He would be second tier, in my opinion. It would be him and Trey Hendrickson. in my honest opinion, than you would have everyone else. So I'm going to say that Myles and Max are off the table. Can they be bought for the right deal? Yes. If you're going to give the Cleveland Browns 3 firsts, that's an offer they cannot refuse. They can't. But is Myles Garrett worth 3 firsts? I don't know if I would do that. I really don't. 1, cool. 2, cool. 3, that means we're not going to have a first-round pick until 2028. That's a long time. And the only way I make that happen, the only way I would be willing to do that is if we were to win the Super Bowl. Then all of it becomes worth it. Even if we struggle for the next 5 years. I don't want to. When I say struggle, I mean we can't quite reach the heights of NFC title game and Super Bowl appearance. If we were to get one and struggle for the next 3 years and not reach that pinnacle again, I would take that. I would take that. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be watching. And not only did we make it, we won. And after that is a plus. So we got that one before we all die, which is what we're looking for, right? Real talk. So for me, I guess that shuts the door on that. Brad, this was going to have to be a move that they were going to demand a lot for Myles and Max. And it looks like with that being said, those two are off of the table. So let me know your thoughts. Do you feel that it's over? I have tucked Max away. When Max got in front of it, they did his podcast Tuesday, that whole thing has been dead. He's gone. Even if they wanted to trade him, he doesn't want to be traded. Of course, he's not going to say that. But so I'm going to shut the door on that. Then Myles, I had hope. I'm going to shut the door on that. Now, don't think those guys, unfortunately for them, are not going to be moved. So now I'm going to move to the Harold Landry. Oh, I also would put Harold Landry in the second tier. So I would put Trey, Von, and Harold all in that second tier. Then I would put everybody else. And Harold Landry actually did miss some games. He missed the entire 2022 season with a torn ACL. Didn't even realize that when I was making those videos. It's not there. So he tore his ACL and came back stronger than ever, like we assume Aiden is going to do when he comes back from his broken tibia and fibula. So let me know. Do you still believe that there's a chance? I believe there's a chance for everything to happen, but I think I think the asking price for a Myles Garrett is going to be too much. So looking forward. You're going to watch this video on the Saturday. This video is recorded the Saturday of week 8. All right. So whenever you stumble across this video, the Lions, we have already probably seen what they're going to do against the Tennessee Titans, how that kind of makeshift hodgepodge mystery man offensive line defensive line is going to get to Mason Rudolph. So we'll see. But let me know your thoughts, man. I guess another one bites the dust. And another one. And another one. They gone, bro. They are leaving. They're leaving. It really does. It makes you value Hutch more and more and more. And yes, Hutchinson is going to get a monster deal in the offseason. I'm guaranteeing. They don't fall off trees. There's no way. Brad drafted him. We can't. Those kind of, and especially he's homegrown. He's a homegrown DE. We ain't let him go ever. So he's going. Even though he's got a full offseason to prepare. I think that Aiden's going to get a monster contract. I think Brad and Dan, they trust this guy. They know what he's going to get. And Dan Campbell, he let you know if there's anybody that could come back, it would be Hutch. So with that being the case, Brad will extend Hutch. And we're saying that these guys don't fall off trees, man. If you get one, you going to hold on like LTD. Let me know if you get the reference in the comments below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. If you're not yet a subscriber, consider doing so. We are less than 15 away from 24,000. We're trying to get to 25K by, ironically, the trade deadline. And you can help me do that. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.